one person that had a fair share of being confused for a long time. I know I had the potential to do a lot of things, but I wasn't clear which one to front, which one to start doing. Now, from my days of teenage age, I know I started up in high school as a presenter. And then after that, for some time, I had to diversify. I moved into business for a short while. I started making peanuts and liquid soap and selling. And after some point in time, when I got into school, I discovered, okay, I've discovered an aspect of speaking and I want to speak, but I was not even sure of what to do. So I was just doing a lot. I was everywhere without clarity of vision and clarity of purpose. So one thing I want to tell everyone this evening, everyone just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can see your virtual hugs and everything. You need to be clear, especially if you are someone who is a multi-potentialite. A multi-potentialite is a person who have the ability to do a lot of things. Now you can cook, you can speak, you can bake, you can do a lot, and everything appeals to your fancy. So if you are at that point now, you need to drop everything. What are the things I can do? So you need to make a list of everything you can do. What are the things I tell people? Whenever I'm speaking with them, people are confused. I tell them, if you are to make money doing anything, what would you want to do? Because this is a real question we need to answer. Because most times, I've seen people who are confused. They are not clear about what they want, but then they jump on every opportunity that comes their way because money is tied to it. I remember a friend of mine who was looking for a job sometime last year, and then I asked her, what kind of job are you looking for? And she said to me that I am looking for any kind of job. I just want anything, anyone who will just employ me and give me money, anything I can do to make money. But I smiled in my mind because I said, anyone who wants to do everything and anything most times end up getting nothing.
True.
So you cannot be everywhere at the same time. So if you're at this point where, okay, I don't even know. I know money is usually the motivating factor, but let's imagine you can make money doing everything or anything you set your mind to do. What is that thing you would want to do? So make a list of everything you can do. If you can cook, if you can bake, make a list of them. It is so important. And then the second thing in the place of clarity is to ask yourself why. Like, why do I want to do this? So if you have identified your why for each of them, will make you know which one you should push, which one you should front at that particular point in time. Money is important. Yes, know your why. I'm still on that clarity because after you've identified everything, you've listed everything. The next thing you should now do is, why do I want to do each of them? Now, if you say, okay, my why of baking is just because I want to make money. Money is so important. I want to tell everyone. Because in this point, I believe why Chioma organized this Skill Up Initiative is for you to acquire skill that can put food on your table, that can help you earn more. Because in our economy, a lot of people just graduate and there is no job. There are no jobs waiting for you anywhere. But if you can monetize your skill or whatever that thing you enjoy doing, you can make money from it. So it's important to be clear. After being clear, make a list of them. Attach your why for each of them. When you've attached your why for each of them, now it now leads us to the second point where I would say, identify your revenue generating activity. I have always been an advocate for passion, work from a point of passion. It is important. But as a startup, as young people who are starting up, sometimes that thing you're passionate about may not be paying your bills.
True.
At first, now passion is going to pay, but sometimes and most times passion does not pay at the beginning. So what do you do at the point when passion is not paying? It's for you to do something that's going to put food, because guy, you've got to chop, you've got to dress, you've got to eat for you to pursue your passion. I've seen people, why people are so angry at motivational speakers, or are pissed off, is as if motivational speakers say, oh, follow your dreams. And it's as if at the end you're following your dreams and nothing is happening. It is not the fault of the motivational speaker. That's the first thing you need to understand. The truth is, if you follow your dream, you will get to a point where your dream and your passion will pay. But most times at the beginning, you need to juggle between something that's going to give you revenue, because money is kind of it's a fuel for your passion. When you run out of money, even me as a passionate speaker that I am, there are times where I don't like my account being low. I believe everyone here can attest to that. There's this kind of joy that lives up in your heart. Thank you very much for our family. There's this kind of joy. I remember when I was serving in local job, and then during our NYSC period, while I was in camp, I was in OBS doing a lot, and then I had to give my first seed or something I had to sow a seed with all my with that first one they gave us in camp. So I was broke. I was really, really broke. And then when I came back during that Christmas period, I learned that they were going to pay. I want to see chat and see what people are doing. Okay, I see King B saying identify the one. Yes. He said identify the one, guy. Go. Okay, money is all right. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming. I just wanted to engage. Thank you so much, King, and everyone who is engaging in the comment section. Now, I remember, so that December when they paid us, I was just gloomy. It was Christmas. Everyone is supposed to be flexing and enjoying, but girl don't get any money for account. I was broke. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, there was just this alert that came in and they paid us double alawi. The alawi we earn now, people who are serving now, you are lucky, because in our own time, they promised us this alawi they are paying you now. But we did not, it was like Moses, when God told Moses that you would see the promised land, but you will not enter into it. so we saw the promised alawi, but just at the point where we're living, we did not enjoy it. So I earned 19.8, but I was able to do a lot with that. So it's not really about what you're earning, but it's about being clear about what you want to achieve. And when I talk about, sorry, I'm going to go back to clarity again, because it's important. Every activity you're doing should be tailored towards your long-term goal. It should be tailored towards long term. So whatever you're doing now, don't just do it for pleasure. Don't just do it for money. Money is important, but you must have a vision. So even if you're doing something that is paying your bills, let that bills fund your vision. Let it fund your passion. Because in the long run, passion is going to pay. So when we're talking about revenue generating activities, so you're now going to make a list. What are the things you can do that can earn you, that can pay your bills at this point in time? For example, okay, I didn't finish my story. So when the alert came in December, it was double alawi. I was immediately, you can see there was just this switch of mode. I became so excited at that point. And so that's why money is a motivation for me, and I believe for everyone here. Okay, so identify your revenue generating activity. For example, let me share my story. I'm a speaker. I enjoy speaking, and if you give me the platform, I create platform. I can talk for a whole day, but then you should pay me, because money motivates whatever I'm doing. Now, I am a speaker. When I identified that Mark Ann wants to speak for a living, and then I had to draw a circle, and I'm like, okay, what are the things I can do from speaking? But I enjoy speaking, but what speaking at this point is not paying me. I know I'm going to get to that point where, keynote speaker, and then the rest. So that was why I discovered Master of Ceremony. Now, as a Master of Ceremony, I help the event organizers bring to life their vision, their goals, and help them achieve their goal and objective for that event, carry the audience along and everything. So that became one stream of revenue for me through speaking. Now, the second thing I discovered is, okay, and you enjoy sharing knowledge. Can you document and, productize your knowledge into a book? Then that was when, okay, I had to write some books last year, and I'm still writing another one. So that became a second activity for revenue. Now, the third thing I started looking out for is, okay, can you package this, your knowledge, some of the things you've learned that people are asking you for, and you turn it into a course? And then I had to develop, I did recordings and everything. Then I developed a course called Personal Development Online Bootcamp during the lockdown. During the lockdown as well, like everyone, but you can see what I was doing, the strategy, the step by step. From one talent of speaking and sharing knowledge, I've already identified 3 streams of revenue for it. Now, the final thing I now did, I am also an audio visual content creator. I create videos and then I edit most of my all my videos, and I also run it as a service for brands and organization. Why did I learn video editing skill? While I was serving, I looked at myself during Said. Said is if you should know it's skill acquisition, something something if you've served. I looked at all the things they were doing. I'm not a person who is, I don't have a lot of flair for what I do with my hand. I'm more of the mental person. And I looked at everything they were teaching in camp and be tie and dye, everything. I said, okay, Anne, what is that thing that is going to help push your passion of speaking and maybe help you make money in the interim before you get to that your long-term vision? And then I saw photography and videography, and I said, okay, this was what I was going to go for. So from camp, I joined, I started learning photography, and then during service, I had to pay another fee to work with a studio doing photography and videography, and then the rest of it. Now, after service, I did not have capital to start, but I was able to put in the knowledge of video editing and photography, and I started using my smartphone to do most of those things that I would have naturally done with a laptop, because I didn't have a camera, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the gadget to do that. So I started editing my videos with my smartphone. And then I discovered a lot of persons, a lot of businesses needed that services. There are people like me who don't have the resources to get a camera, to get a laptop, and to start pushing their brand. And then I packaged it into a course, and then I launched the professional smartphone videography course. So you can see now, from one passion of speaking, I was able to generate other revenue or other means of income for that one. Now, mine may be different from yours, but I shared my story to give you a guide to help you in clarifying yours. It is time to stop chasing clouds. It is time to stop chasing shadows and chase those things that's going to generate revenue for you in the interim, at this point in time. I hope we're following.
I'm following.
Okay,
and I
yeah.
really connect with your story.
Okay, yeah, I can see. I just wanted to see people's comments, and then I can see they're following. So it's important. Revenue is important. At the end of your day, what are the activities that would help you generate revenue? So I had to do that mathematics, and you have to do your own mathematics. If you are someone who is into bakery and confectionaries, now out of your whole hours, you know that if you spend time baking more, so you have more products. The next thing is now marketing. Then you can now say, okay, if I'm spending time on social media, this is what I'm going to do. Because time is a currency. Time. You can get money, you can get other things, but you cannot get back your time. So how can you become productive with the 24 hours that God has given you? Because this is one place that God did not make mistake. He was not partial. He gave everyone the same amount of time. So the same 24 hours you have, it is what Dangote has. It is what Chioma has. It is what I have. It is what Buhari and everybody has. But the question is, if you're not able to gain clarity about what you want to achieve, secondly, you now demystify them. What am I going to do to achieve more revenue? It's important. Okay, so that's the second point. What did I write down there? Okay, I said stop chasing clout. Stop doing a lot of things at the same time. Don't just follow trend. Young people this is us millennials. We are following trends. There are people who are just, someone reached out to me, but I don't know, but when you see this class, you join this class. And why people keep joining different things and doing so many things? Because they're not yet clear. So when you are clear, then when you've identified these are the things that would give me revenue, either in line with my passion or not in line with my passion, but at least this one would help me to be getting my daily bread, then you focus on how to build your skill on that and grow on it. It is very important that you stop chasing cloud, that you stop being everywhere at the same time. Okay, so when you've done that, then itemize them. itemize them. Then I'm going to go to the third point, and I'll tell you to apply the 80-20 principle. It is also called the Pareto
The
principle.
Pareto
Now,
principle.
yes, it's
I
so
love that
important.
principle.
Yes, and the first time I heard about this principle was I was still a student, and then I was serving as a worker in church, and then my pastor called for a workers meeting at the point, and then she said that I can't remember, but she said, "How many of you have heard about the Pareto principle?" And then the rest. That was my first time, and then she said that most times that 20% of your activities is what produces 80% of your
80%
results.
results.
So now, what you should do is now list out in a typical day. So this is the simplest way to understand it. You should know that out of the 10 things you're doing, 2 out of the 10 produce more results for you than the rest of the 8. So your work is now to identify what are the 20 most productive activity for me to do. What are they? Now, is it writing content? Is it shooting videos? Is it having to call clients? Is it having to record my courses? For someone like me, some of my revenue generating activity has to do with editing videos. I don't enjoy editing videos as much as I enjoy being in front of the camera, but then it is a service that people need, and I have to do it. So because that's what produces more results for me in terms of, for now, money. So, but you need to do your mathematics, you need to do your metrics and discover what are the activities out of your 10 activities. If you just list out all the activities you are engaged in, and then look out for the 2 or 3 or 5 the ones that you would do, that at the end of the day, when you look back, when you look at your results, you can say, okay, I've been able to achieve this, I've been able to achieve that, and you feel satisfied. There are people who at the end of every day, they are feeling like, what did I even do with my 24 hours? Have you ever experienced that at
Yes,
any point in your life?
experience.
Like,
I have.
and you're just wondering, how did 24 hours just go? And you're looking like there is nothing to show for 24 hours. That's because you've not learned how to, take how to audit your day. All right, to-do list is so important. If you're ever going to be productive in achieving results in whatever you're going to do, you need to develop a metrics to measure your time. So time is, it's an important resources. If you're ever going to be productive, then you need to be someone who measures your time. You need to measure, okay, if you're spending time on social media, what percentage of results is social media adding to your activities? So you need to ask yourself, what percentage? For someone like me, I know that when I'm on social media, I'm building something. So that's more reason why I show up. I don't just show up because, oh, everyone is on social media, but I know I'm building something. So every time I show up, I am laying a block. I am adding a layer to what I'm already building. So you need to have a reason why you're doing whatever you're currently engaging, what you're currently engaged in, whatever activity you're engaged in. So it's so important that you take an audit. What are the things you are doing? Okay, so I hope we're following. Let me
following.
see
And
that.
today, actually, Seth, coincidentally, I read a book that talked about your Pareto principle today, and talked about that
Okay.
80% rule and 20% rule. Now, you mentioned
Yeah.
that we should find the 20% that would give us 80% results. Then what do
Yes.
we do to the remaining activities? Since we're focusing on the 20% activities that will give us 80% results.
Okay, so what do you do with now? It does not mean that everything about you should be about work. And then that is now leading me to my fourth point. I talked about identify your most productive time. So now you are now going to zone your time into different times. When is that time? That there are times you should have fun. There are times those things that it does not give you any result, but you need to do it because you're a human being, you have flesh and blood, and this life is not just for work. So there needs to be a work-life balance. It is important. So that's why there was something I learned. I signed up for a course by Coach Victor Ebobasi sometime in 2019. Was it 2019? I think so. If I can remember correctly, he talked about uh, if I just remember this now. If I remembered it before planning for this my outline, I would have added it here. But then there was something he said. He talked about your work time in a week, that you divide your week into your work time, and then I think there are three things I can't remember, but I know there is a time for work and then the time for rest. Now, for the work time, you should identify what are your most productive, what are those activities that you need to do. Like that, these are work, these are tasks. Either if you're an employee, you need to do your job now, so for you to get your pay, and you cannot you cannot shift that because you want to go and hang out with your friends. Hanging out with your friends is important, but it's not as important as achieving that result that's going to make you go back home at the end of the month with some cash. Now, in your week, what in dividing that, you should divide what are the time for your work. Now you can say to yourself that your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to focus on work. Then on Thursday and Friday, you're going to focus on something else. And then Saturday must be your time of rest. So we're not saying that when you identify your 20% of the things that gives you result, then you forget about the 80. Now you can decide to do those 20 Monday, Tuesday, or whatever time. So you need to know when is your most productive time. For me, Monday is like my rest days. Although for the past 2 or 3 weeks I've not been able to keep to it, because I'm working with my mentor on a project she's working on, so we have to from one conference to another. So Monday usually, because I've discovered that most times I work more on Saturday. I work more on weekends because of the kind of my job. There are times from Friday there's an event, or there's an event on Saturday. Even if there's no event on Saturday, I work with an organization where we train people on public speaking on Saturday and on Sunday. It's not my company, but I work with them as an intern. So I'm a coach there. And then I work there Saturday, and Sunday after church, I have to also go to work. So my weekends are crazy. I can't count the number of times I've had time to myself on a Sunday. So because of the nature of my job, my weekends are more like my work time. And then on Monday, when everybody is rushing to go to work, me, I'm chilling and I'm Netflixing. So know what works for you and stick to it. Don't compare yourself. Don't a lot of people see Monday as work, like, oh my God. But for me, Monday most times is where I just sleep. I try to, see one or two movies, and then just strategize and plan. From Tuesday, Wednesday, I start doing more of the things that have to do with ideation. Maybe I'm creating content, or I'm writing a book, or I have to shoot a video. I try to shoot my videos within Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. From Friday, I can't even shoot videos. I can't do that. So you see that when you know yourself, now you know the time that works best for you in a day. Now, for now, I'm still talking about week. We're still going to come down to daily and knowing your most productive time in a day. But in your week, let's talk about your weekly plan, how you plan your week. When you've identified those things, you can now push, okay, which one am I going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Which one comes Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And then when is my rest time? Then you can apportion your activities. So 20% can go to your most productive time. For me, mine should be like from Tuesday to Thursday. It's where I'm doing more of the ideation, content, anything that has to do with writing, and then the rest. Then for me, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday is more of the outdoor work, and then Monday is just me resting. So know yourself. It is important that you know yourself and you know what works best for you. So after you've done that for the week, now you now need to come to your day. Now in your day, I remember those days in school. In school, we have some of us are either you're currently in university or you've passed through university, or even in secondary school. There are people who every time in the night they are going for night class. How many of you here have ever gone for night class? Okay. Who else? How many of you, during your days in school, you went for night class? Am I seeing people here who went for night class? I did not. I can't count the number of times I went for night class. I don't think I went throughout my 4 years in Nnamdi Azikiwe University. I don't think I went to night class up to 10 times. I don't think so, because I'm not much of a night person. Reading at night is not my strong point. But there are people who, because everybody is going for night class, then they just join the crowd. Let us all go for night class. You're following the popular opinion. Exactly. And there's something like when you're going for in Unizik, management is usually where faculty of management is where people go. You see them, they are going for night class. Yes. They pack chingum, they pack banana, they pack fruits, they pack everything, and you see their bag, you see, serious student. The first thing they do when they get to management is first of all identify your sports. When you've identified your sport, they start eating. After
the nice people here, they are commenting.
Okay. Let me see them. Okay. Up and then as I went for night class and it didn't work. Exactly. So I tried it. It didn't work. It did not work. And then I had to stop. But there are people who still, they are going for night class just because they want to feel like they are serious. But night is not really your time. Now, bringing it to your point for this, your day now, your day-to-day activities, there should be a time during your day that is your most productive time. Are you a morning person? Are you an afternoon person? Or are you a night person? For the past since I finished service and I've been working on my own, even during COVID period until about last month, I've been like a night crawler. I sleep late. I'm usually the last person to sleep at home because I like work. Not like I like work, but there's a lot of things to be done. And since I do a lot, so I'm still going to mention the last point, which have been helping me. But I've been a night crawler. All the night crawler gang in the house, can you make some noise in the comment section? So I used to sleep from, let's say, 12, 1, 2. There are times 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'm still awake. And then I don't sleep by that time. And then I'm waking up, let's say, 9 a.m. And then I continue. But then I used to achieve results. That was my time. But recently, because of a project I'm currently working on, I discovered I had to tell myself, I think you need to switch. So what I started doing for the past 2 weeks, I think this should be the 3rd week, is that I've been consistently becoming an early morning person. So I try to sleep before 11. It was difficult. I didn't know I would change this soon. I used to think maybe when I get married and then the rest, then I can start sleeping early because of marriage and then the kids and other things. But I didn't know I'll start sleeping early at this point in time. But I had to do that because I've checked that, okay, I go to work. When I go to work, I come back. There's another project I'm currently working on that has a deadline that I need to meet. So I told myself the best thing for me to do is to sleep, take a break. So when you come back from work, you sleep, you take that break, and then you wake up at night again, let's say 1 a.m., and then you now face this second aspect of what this project you're working on, and you do it till like 4 a.m., and then you sleep, wake up by 7 or 8, and then you're out. And it's working for me. So I can now say like my most productive time is now early in the morning. I'm trying it and it's working. So you have to be flexible. If you're at this point where you've not noticed the one that works for you, I will tell you to, okay, we are here. I can see everyone that is here. I will tell you to try. I've tried the night crawler time. I know what I was doing at that point and it was working. But then, I needed to keep becoming flexible. The best thing that's going to happen to you is to be at that state where you're constantly evolving. Don't be at that point where you're saying, this is me, I can't change. No. The goal of personal development is that to help you become the best version of yourself. And for you to become the best version of yourself, you need to keep trying out things to get to that point. You can't even, because you're continuously upgrading. So now the fact that now that morning is working for me does not mean later on I'll still stick to it. So just be flexible. Be flexible. It's going to help. It's going to help you. I don't know if you have any comment or feedback on that before I move on.
Okay,
Or question?
personally too, I used to be one of those night people. I would try to follow everyone else reading at night because it made you look like a smart student now. But I realized that throughout that night, my friends will be the one waking me up. They'll be pinching me. Choma, wake up. Choma, wake up. I'll be sleeping. Till I realized that I'm more of an early morning person. Like we had an
Mm.
examination just a few weeks back. I'm in Unizik. You are my alumni.
Are you
I'm in
serious?
Unizik. Yes. So I
Wow.
realized that during this last exam period, my most productive reading time is around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's when I'm awake. And that's
Mhm.
when I read, it sticks to my
It
head. So
enters.
I do not bother myself reading around 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m. So it was not working for me. So I'll just set my alarm 3 a.m. Sometimes even before the alarm rings, I'm awake already. And that's when I would read till it was time to go to school. Or I'll read for some few hours, sleep, and then wake up to go to school. And that's what works for me. Does not mean that this time would still be, it's still what I'll use during this next exam period in December. It might change. I'll
Exactly,
just have
my
to study my
change.
body and see when I'm most productive and then stick to it.
Very, very important. Very important. Self mastery is important. It's important if you're going to be productive. You need to get to that point where you've mastered yourself and you're not just doing things because everyone is doing it. The fact that everyone is
True.
doing something does not
Does not
make
mean
it
it works
right
for
and
you.
does not make it to work for you. So you need to understand yourself. See, man, know thyself, know yourself. It's the best thing that you can ever, it's the best gift you can ever give to yourself. That knowledge of yourself, knowing when what works best for you, when works best for you, and why you do what you're doing. It's going to help you a lot. So if you have questions at this point, please, I want you to start asking them because I would share one point and a bonus and then I can start answering your question. Okay, so the fifth point, which I have here, is I'll tell you to delegate, outsource, and automate. Now it is DOA, delegate, outsource, automate. I decided to put them together because they are quite similar, they work hand in hand. Now, delegation has to do with being able to hand over some of your activities to someone else. Now, by the time you've done your 80-20 rule, that the remaining 80% of the things, which are not the things that you have to bother yourself with, you can decide to delegate them. Now you will be like, oh, I'm a startup. I don't have anyone working with me. I don't have a team member. That's why I talked about outsource and also automate. There are times where I have a knowledge. One thing I love learning, and I have a knowledge of almost everything. Not everything yet, but I'm still learning. I have a knowledge of Canva. I can do. There are times where I was doing my graphic design. I had to pay to learn that last year while I was pushing my podcast and everything. I knew that, and if you start paying for every week podcast you release, every graphic design for your podcast every week, it's going to cost you a lot. Imagine the amount. So I had to just pay and then I had to learn that. But at this point, I discovered that whatever I'm editing with Canva, sometimes I can spend 4 hours on one design. I can't because I'm trying to do. It will come out later at the end. But I discovered I'm spending like 4 to 5 hours on just one design, and then I told myself at this point in time, I started outsourcing because okay, I've identified these are the things that get me money. So if I'm going to get money from this course or from this thing, why not give someone else to run your design for you and pay the person. So I have a team. I also have a team I'm working with. But when I started, I did not have a team. And I'm also this kind of person that I don't even know how to ask for help. It's my weak point. My team member that I work with in my NGO, she keeps telling me, why can't you just ask for help when you need help? So that is like the weak point of mine because I try to do plenty things, but it's not good. So I'm exposing myself. Okay, so
Same
be
here.
willing. So be willing to ask for help if you cannot pay. And that's why it's important for everyone at this point. When you are clear about your vision, about what you're building. Remember, I said, whenever I'm showing up on social media, I know there's something I'm building. And that's why you should start from the point of clarity. When you are clear about what you're building, people who will help you will gravitate towards you. There are people
True.
who are there are people who are aligned to your vision. There are people who are aligned to what you do. They want to, they like what you do. And those people are the help that God has made available for you on your journey. So that's why it's important to start from, because when you start from the point, you may start as one person, but in the long run, there are people whose hearts, why I am so active on showing up and also fulfilling purpose, is I know that there are lives that are tied to me. So everyone here, you should walk with this consciousness that there are lives tied to you. There are people who their manifestation, the Bible says that the earnest expectation of the creature is waiting for the manifestation of the sons. The day one thing that spurs me up to do things even when I don't feel like doing it, because that's commitment, that's consistency. If you're going to build, if you're going to be productive, then you have to show up and become committed. It is no longer about how you feel, but about the result and the people who are going to benefit from whatever you're doing. As you keep growing in purpose, you will begin to know that it is not about you, but it's more about the result and the people who are tied to you. So that's why when you become clear and start doing whatever you're doing, people will gravitate towards you. When they offer to help you, please accept help. Okay? Accept help. Accept it. Outsource. There are times where you can begin to build your team, and you can get some people, teach them some of the things you know how to do, and then in the long run, delegate some things to them. Tell them, okay, help me do this. If you can pay, outsource is where you pay for some of the services, and then automate is where you can begin to leverage on technology to get you to achieve results. This is not the time to say, oh, I'm not a tech person, technology is not for me. I used to be like, I'm not a tech person, but guy, sis, everything now, you just need to see how to infuse technology into whatever you're doing. There are apps that can help you automate your post on social media. If you discover that, oh, you're spending the exactly. So she's mentioned some of them. Planoly. I know there's Buffer. Buffer helps you schedule content for Facebook. There are a lot of them. So after this thing, you can search on Google and just search, and you can look for apps that can help you automate some process. There are lots of apps. I can't think of them now. I didn't do the research, but Google is your friend, and then I believe Chioma would have some.
It will help them.
Okay.
That particular one, I use it a lot. It will schedule your post on Facebook, Instagram, like the platform, whatever platform you want, to just schedule your post for you ahead of that.
Okay. I've not. I think I will try this one. I've not used it. Planoly. Is that what you said?
Spell it. Planoly. Planoly.
PLAN. Okay, I got the spelling. Okay, I got it. Okay, so guys, I'm going to try that. You two can try that. Okay, so automate. If you can't do everything on your own, bring out a day out of your week. That's what will come to your, in your week, you should have a day. You can say Monday to Wednesday is my content creation, my content ideation period. You can say, okay, throughout Monday, I'm going to spend time drawing up a calendar for my month or for my week, for my content. What am I going to post? And then you schedule them and then get going. So delegate if you have a team or you have people who are offering to help you. Delegate, please. And then outsource if you have the money. And if you're getting paid for something, you can decide to say, okay, instead of me spending so much time for me, that, like I said, spending so much time on Canva to get a design, sometimes apart from the designs of my YouTube that I just know that I'll put my title, put color, those ones I do them, I don't pay for them. But when it comes to other designs that have flyers and then the rest, I know it takes me time. I just say, okay, why not pay and then push up, do other things. I focus more on the one that will bring the money, the one that will make me more fulfilled, is going to make me happy. So thinking, ideating, writing, recording, for me, these are my most productive activities. Shooting videos, editing them, I'm having to prepare my content, and so those are the things for me. So you should discover what works for you based on what you are passionate about, and not only passion. Remember I said, if what you're passionate about is not paying you yet, get a skill, get something that can put food on your table, something that's going to help you put body and soul together till that one start working. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to take questions and then feedback.
Okay, so if you have questions, please drop your questions in the comments. If you have feedbacks, please drop your feedbacks in the comments. We'll take the first 3 questions. Okay, and while you're doing that, let me just drop a few. Okay, are you seeing questions already?
No. I'm just seeing comment. I'm seeing Elizabeth Apan. Okay, I think it's disappeared. She said yes, evolving is the key to personal development. And Esther says, wow, thanks for this, ma'am. Okay. All right, guys.
Okay.
Questions, feedback.
For questions.
Yeah.
I was saying that based on what you were saying, talking about finding what would put food on your table until your passion can pay you. Personally, my own main passion in mass communication is the public relation and advertising aspect of it. That's what I have passion for. That's what I want to do in future. But I'm yet to start making money from that. So what I'm doing is that I found skills related to that I can earn from in the meantime. That's why I started writing stories. I do public speaking, I do copywriting. So these are ways for me to earn, generate income, and at least practice a bit of what I'll be doing in future till when I can do PR and advertising professionally. I used to create ads for people before, but then I stopped. So let me learn it professionally, so I could finally give it a touch of expertise, a touch of professionalism to my work. But before that time, I'm doing something in the interim. So it goes around what you were saying, that you just find something you could do till when your passion can pay you. Because if you wait for your passion to pay you at the beginning, you might die of hunger. And when that passion can become frustrating.
It can become frustrating. That's why I've seen frustrated people who just all of a sudden wake up one morning and say, forget it. They get bitter at speakers. The fault is not the speaker. Exactly. If you check whatever motivational speakers say, there's an element of truth in it, but you have to do your own part. That's it. Your passion is going to pay. It's not a lie. There are people who have earned from their passion. But then there's this book I started reading, but I've not completed it. I think I would also recommend it because why I've not completed that book, it's because I have not gotten the hard copy. Soft copy is not so much for me. The book is so good they can't ignore you. I started reading the book, and from the first chapter of the book, while I was still reading the soft copy, it talked about the lies they told you about passion. Because it talked about when Steve Jobs was talking to some Harvard students who were graduating, and then he told them, follow your passion, and then the rest of it. Now, he said there's an element of truth, but that's a lie somehow. Because if you check when Steve Jobs started, he did not start with Apple. Steve Jobs started with working in a garage and even if you check both Google and the rest of it, how they started doing something that was not related to what they are known for today. But then they had a major goal, they had a major vision. So what they were doing was a means to an end, but not an end in itself. Now, where I've seen people where they've not been able to stay clear is most times people now lose sight of their vision because this thing is giving you money. Then they now lose sight of their vision, forgetting that what you're currently doing is a means to an end, but not the end itself. Now, when we're saying do something that gives you money in the interim, we're not saying forget about your passion. You cannot spend time at night to develop that passion. That's where you need to do extra work. See, purpose, fulfillment, and whatever, it's hard work. You need to work. You need to do the work. The work may be other than sleeping 8 hours, but for now, you're sleeping 4 hours because you know there's a price you're paying. I tell myself I'm working a lot now because I know that I don't want to work this way in the next 5 years. I should have built a system and where I don't, people see the soft work, but they won't see the beginning point of your life where you were working your ass out to see that things work out well. So I want you to learn how to put a balance. If you're doing something, don't lose sight of the vision. See whatever you're doing now as a means to an end. Don't see that the end itself. Okay, I just thought to put that out. Okay.
Tibinei Samuel said, it's good and advisable to know one's time leisure to aid one's personal development. Elizabeth Akpa said, when you begin to grow in purpose, you discover it's not just about you, but the people side to you, which makes you show up even when you don't feel like it. Thank you, ma'am. Elaine Samuel said, on point, ma'am. Elizabeth asked a question. She said, what's the title of the book again? She did not get it. There's a book you mentioned. It's true.
Okay. The book I mentioned, I said it's so good they can't ignore you. So good. I can't remember the author. I have the soft copy, but I can't remember the author. No, I can't remember the author. But just I think it's either Newport or something, Newport or something, but I can't remember. But so good they can't ignore you. It's I started it and I'm like, oh no. There's a book she started, just said this is not a book. Exactly. This is not a book I want to read with soft copy. I want to read it, feel it, mark it, I love my books. So that's exactly, yeah. So that's the title. So good they can't ignore you.
Okay, thank you very much. Esther Akpan said, thanks for this wonderful session, ma'am. It's very enlightening. Thanks, Ms. Chioma, for making this program possible. You're welcome, Esther.
Okay, everyone.
See you. Welcome.
Okay, guys, so I think I'm just going to summarize because I need to head to, there's something waiting for me by 8. And in the absence of any question, I don't know if there is none. I just want you to put those 5 points in mind because it's important. You may not be able to you may be doing a lot at this point, but the beauty of doing whatever you're doing is being able to achieve results. Is being able to look back at the end of the year, at the end of the week, and at the end of the day to see that you have achieved results. It is so fulfilling. When I was still discovering myself and I started building my brand, I discovered that one thing that built self-esteem, it works for me, I know it works for a lot of persons, is that there's this level of esteem that comes when you are able to achieve a result. You end up loving yourself better. When you set a goal for yourself and you are able to fulfill that task, there's this thing, there's this self-love that comes. It just makes you feel you love yourself better. It boosts your esteem because you're able to achieve a result. And I've seen people who lose a bit of their esteem because they are constantly at that point where they are not achieving results. Because the more you look back at your day and you ask yourself, what did I do today? Like, what did I achieve? Before you know it, you start feeling bad. And when you're feeling bad, it's already affecting your esteem. Because you're waking up the next morning and you're also like, your face is like this. And like, what's in the do? Like, I don't just know. I don't even know as time just go. Like, time just go like that. I don't do anything. You see that it is affecting your esteem. So I tell people, if you're trying to build your esteem, set little goal, no matter how little. Don't do a lot. Don't be out there chasing clouds. Don't be chasing shadows because everyone is doing it. Don't sign up for all classes. Don't sign up for all. Know the ones that are aligned to your vision. The ones that would help you either make money or help you achieve that your vision, that thing you want to do. Be clear on it and do them. Now, if you're going to get overwhelmed doing a lot, you can itemize them, do little. But for people who are struggling to read books, I tell them it is better that you read one page of a book, one chapter of a book, than starting one day to read 3 chapters and at the end you leave it. Because somehow when in your mind, your self-esteem is affected when you remember that, you start telling yourself, I don't know how to read. I don't think reading is my thing, because you know that you once started reading. You just read like 3 chapters at a stretch and you left it. Now you're now left with that mindset that, I am not so much of a reader. And what you constantly confess to yourself when you say it, it becomes your reality. If you want to change that, it's better you just start with little. Okay, today I'm just going to do this and do this. When you are able to achieve that little, your esteem is boosted. And when your esteem is boosted, you are in the right position to achieve more. So start with little, gain mastery in little, and move on to the next. Because even the Bible says that he that is faithful in little, more will be given to him. So there need to be an element of faithfulness in that small thing you're doing. So it may be one skill that you've gotten. Don't be there. You want to acquire all the skills that, oh, you learn copywriting is paid today, you switch to copywriting. Tomorrow you learn that video editing is paying, you switch to video editing. Next tomorrow you learn that content writing is paying, you switch to content writing. You learn that baking. You are confused. Can you just sit down and focus? Focus is so important in this distracted generation. And whatever you're doing, make sure that it's important. So focus on that, no matter how little. Be faithful in that, and then as you grow, you can diversify. All right, it's going to help you. And remember that your mindset, your self-esteem, it's important for you to keep achieving results. Once your mindset is not in that right frame, once you're already feeling like, oh, I'm not a goal-getter, I'm not much of an achiever, it's going to affect your output in the long run. So if you're at that point where your esteem, you're feeling like, oh my God, I don't think I achieved a lot of results. First of all, take a pause, gain clarity. What do you want to do? Why are you doing it? So start from clarity, then divide your activities. Which one am I going to focus on? When you've divided your activities and choose the one to focus on, choose the most productive time of your day or the time of your week. You can say from Monday to Thursday is your work time, and then make sure you rest. I don't rest that much, but I'm trying to, there's some things I'm trying to get, and once I'm done, I'm just going to take off time and rest, because it is a very productive activity. Rest, you may look like you're not doing anything, but you're doing something, because you're recalibrating to be able to come back and give more results. So see how to put that down. I've not been having a lot of that, but I am intentional planning for that by next month and the rest of it. So thank you so much, Chioma, and the whole of Skill Up Initiative for having me.
Thank you so much, Anne Obize. Seriously, I had an amazing time today. I learned so much. See my book. I've been writing. So whenever you see me banging my head down, I've been writing down things. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate this big time. It's a rare privilege to have you. And I'm going to be in your DM. So, like, you're a public speaker. I'm just listening to you speak as, what's the word right now? I have this, what's the word? I can't find the right word. But it's your voice, your courage, the way you pass across your message, everything about it is unique. And I believe that everyone that wants to become good at public speaking needs to identify more with you. So can you please tell us your social media handle so we could follow you up? Facebook, Instagram,
okay.
Whatever.
Okay, so for Instagram, you can check me out at I am Anne. So my Anne is MAC. So I am Anne. Also on Twitter, then on Facebook and LinkedIn, it's Anne Obize.
Okay.
And you know the funny thing, one thing I'm going to tell you guys is, I'm currently operating everything I'm doing now that either puts food on my table or somehow I didn't learn them in school. I'm an advocate for something of what Chioma is doing. I'm an advocate. I know while I was serving, I read a book called Beyond the Classroom. I'm an advocate that people begin to expose themselves to knowledge outside the classroom. I studied business education in school, but I'm currently operating in the media field and doing a lot more beyond. So there is no excuse for you. You may have finished your 4 years in school and you're like, oh, why did I even study this? It's not paying me. You can start afresh, start afresh, gain the right skill, and then move towards your passion. It's achievable and it's workable, but you need to pay the price. You may have to spend extra time studying. You may have to, volunteer and do a lot of skill. And it's so good. I didn't even know that Chioma schooled in Unizik. It's so important that if you're still here and you're still in school, and you're still schooling, please maximize it. A lot of us did not get this opportunity of, getting people to speak to you while you're still, in school, we're just God, book, and then the rest. There was no place of talking about acquire skill. It was just when you're leaving school that reality would dawn on you. So now is the time. I tell students, now is the time to acquire skill and then start thinking of the future. Forget about that your certificate, because you may come out and there's nothing waiting for you. It's a reality, but you can. There are lots of opportunities. There are lots of opportunities that your certificate will not fill, but your skills will fill them up. So now is the time. Now that your parents are still giving you pocket money and you don't have to, so be saving some of them and push it into things that would help you when you're done with school. So Chioma, Well done. So guys, let's connect.
Thank you so much.
Instagram, Twitter, I am Anne. Facebook, LinkedIn, Anne Obize. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. People are thanking you in the comment section. We are grateful. So, guys, with that, we've come to the end of the first session for day 2 of the Skill Up Initiative. So, we're going to move over to the second session immediately, and that is on WhatsApp. So, if you're connected to us on WhatsApp, just head over there straight away so that we can continue with the second session. It's going to be on my status. So thank you so much, Anne Obize. Hope you enjoyed your session. Bye.
Okay, one more thing. Okay, I just want to say I have other things that I teach a lot on personal development and productivity. So you can also check out my channel on YouTube and also my podcast. I don't release a lot this year on my podcast, but I have a lot of things to help you in productivity and clarity. These are like my forte: clarity, productivity, personal development. I have content on my podcast. So just go on any podcasting site and search for the Talk with Mark Ann on podcasts, on Google Podcasts, and yes, the Talk with Mark and also on YouTube. Just check out the Talk with Mark and then you can just there are lots of content that would help you and also buttress what I've said. My podcast a lot. I did a lot last year. I've not done a lot this year. Then at YouTube, I've done a lot this year on YouTube. So check out any of them. Ask questions. Send me DMs. I'll be slow in replying, but then yeah, but I'm still going to respond.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. So our next session, I'm going to be handling it, and our topic for the next session is how to build a list of loyal clients to constantly make sales. Now it's going to be very, very practical. I'm going to be telling you how I built a list of people who trust me enough to buy from me. Now, it doesn't matter what skill you have, whether you're a writer, public speaker, spoken word artist, copywriter, fashion designer, baker, whatever skill you have, there's a way for you to build a list of people who trust you, like you enough, and see you as someone worthy enough for them to give their money, patronize you, and recommend you to other people too. So I'm going to be talking about that on WhatsApp right now. So if you're connected to me on WhatsApp, go and check out my WhatsApp status because we're about to start our training. So see you on WhatsApp now. Bye.